How can a mom use her son's access to video games and other forms of entertainment as a tool to teach him how to monitor himself?
Video games, internet. That's something that moms ask that question a lot. My son-in-law, Jake, he works at the Master's College, and he, in answer to that question, he has said there are a lot of times that young men show up at school as freshmen and have had no access to internet or video games or any of that, and have been very sheltered from that. So when they get to school, they spend the first semester not going to class but playing their roommates' video games and surfing around on the internet. So I know sometimes our knee-jerk is to say, absolutely not, it won't be in our home, we will not have that. And yet, it's a way that we can use as a tool to train our sons to self-govern, giving them the opportunity to discern. I remember when my son wanted to play video games that were all war and killing and murder and all of that, just being able to talk to him about, you know, the Bible says as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. If you're spending hours and hours day on end murdering people and the blood and gore, what might that be developing in your heart if that's what you're thinking on all the time? And just giving them, there's a section in Moms Raising Sons to Be Men called Train His Brain. It's easy to just say, don't do that. No, I said no. It's actually way easier for a mom in the moment, but in the long run it's not, because we're trying to teach them to be autonomous. There's a section in the book called Tools to Autonomy. So we have an opportunity to give them a way to discern what is going into their minds, a way, you know, if your son stays up all night playing video games and he needed to be doing his homework, let him go to school the next day and take a 0. Don't let him stay home because he's too tired and he's going to flunk the test. Or if you homeschool your kids, don't just, make it easy on them to not, compensate for whatever time that they devoted to video games. I think there's a lot of opportunities that mom have just to teach them to make wise choices and to teach them to think. And if your husband is involved, if your son's father is involved, there's a real an area in their lives when they hit junior high. And I talked earlier about give him his manhood or he'll fight you for it. I'm a firm believer that if there is a father in the home, that at that age you need to step out, you need to hand him his manhood, you need to let the father be more involved in those things, because he's a man and he knows how men think. And wives will say, oh okay, and then as soon as the dad doesn't do something that they think he should or shouldn't have done, they jump back in and take the reins back. But and I don't have a lot of time to talk about now, but you can learn in Moms Raising Sons to Be Men ways to hand him his manhood and to step out and let the father. If you're a single mom, don't despair, because I have some very good friends that are single moms that have not just given up or tried to be the mom and dad in their son's life. They have looked for godly mentors. And my husband was a youth pastor for 18 years, and there was a lot of young men that he was able to mentor as a godly father figure. Letting the man role model discern what is or isn't a way to help your son make the best use of the internet and those entertainment things, it helps a lot too.